Welcome to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Matt Beiser.
And I'm Christy Daring. Did you know that there are over 550,000 Middle Eastern Americans living in Michigan alone, and nearly 7 million living and working in the United States?
A very large portion of our population here. The culture and diversity has helped to shape Michigan and the United States. With us today is an entrepreneur who's had great success in bringing together the community and creating Middle Eastern American TV and radio, which shows such shows as Immigration Today and Middle Eastern Perspectives. Please welcome the owner and Middle Eastern American TV and radio owner, Wally Jaddan.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank
to our
you very
show.
much for being here.
Pleasure.
So how did this network and station get started?
Well, the station established in 1986. We were only like 2 hours covering about 10 cities, catering to a small community in Southfield and surrounding Southfield. In 95, I bought the station, and about 8 years ago, Comcast granted us a 24-hour channel, and it was the first time that any network granting an ethnic minority a 24-hour channel. And because of the population of the Middle Eastern American, the Arab American, the Chaldean American living in Michigan is so large, it's so affected. Honestly, the Middle Eastern American community is one of the largest community in Michigan, economically, politically, socially. We were very effective and involved in Michigan at large, with the community at large. So Comcast granted us the channel. After Comcast granted us the channel in Michigan, we went and targeted the community in Washington D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And
wow.
You know, Washington is where the thing happened there. And we wanted to be there where the things happen. And about 4 years ago, we went on satellite to cover all United States, Mexico, and Canada, and catering to about 7, with Canada and Mexico to about 10 million Middle Eastern American community.
Oh, wow.
So with Charter granting you that, or Comcast granting you that 24-hour broadcasting right,
Yes.
and the Middle Eastern American community is growing, how did you fill all that time? Did you find it easy to find content for all that broadcasting
Well,
time?
at the start, we were very small, local, very small, and we expand. We expand to nationwide. And now, I mean, honestly, we have more program, more things to show than 24 hours. We do a lot of local program here. We cater to the local community and their need. We cover almost every event that happens in the community, from annual dinner to a festival, to a forum, political forum, to a social forum, economic forum. And of course, after the expansion to Washington, D.C. and the rest of the nation and North America, we are catering now to the communities in California, for example, in D.C., in New York. Any event that happens in the United Nations, we are there to cover it and do a lot of interviews with the Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, kings and princes, you know. And in Washington, of course, where is the politician. And every time there is any issue related to the Arab world or Middle East, you know, the politicians, they like to come to our station and we do interview with them and tackling the issue that they are tackling. For example, 2 weeks ago, Congressman Nick Rahal and Congressman Joral Issa, President Obama sent them to the Middle East, to Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, and United Arab Emirates. When they came back, they asked us, we went to the Capitol Hill, we did interview with them, and they talk about their trip, their policy, and what we're doing to establish better relation between the United States and the Arab world.
So you really tackle all the difficult issues, or any issues that arise within the Arab world, connecting to the United States and otherwise.
Absolutely, but we cater mostly to the local community and to the local issue. There are some channels like Al Arabiya, Al Jazeera, there is Jazeera English. Those channels, and they're all on satellite. We the one and only broadcast in cables, in Comcast cable, in Cox cable, and in Verizon cable, totaling 21 states. Those channels, they are on satellite, and they bring in the issue of the Arab world. We cater to the issue of the local community in the United States, you know, and wherever there is an event, wherever there is an action related to this community, we go there.
Are you seeing interest outside the Middle Eastern American community? Are you seeing other people coming in and seeing your programs?
The Middle Eastern American community, honestly, and especially after September 11, it became very interested to the community at large, to the federal agency, to the American government, to all other ethnic minority, and to the American organization. We played the role of building bridges between the Middle Eastern American community and federal agency, with corporate America, with community at large, with community organization. And yes, we invite many, if it's politician or people interested to work with the Middle Eastern American community, to our TV through many programs. And for example, Immigration Today, you mentioned, we have every week, we invite a director of different federal agency, if it's FBI, if it's a U.S. attorney, if it's immigration, custom and border, to speak to the community. And we tackle the issue related to the community. For example, border and patrol, or for example, at the airport. You know, we tackle the issue of the Arab American culture, the way they dress, the way they act, the way they, you know, move and all that. And we would like those departments to understand the culture. And by doing these things, we're building bridges between the Middle Eastern American community and those people. Same thing with corporate America. A lot of corporate America, this community economically, honestly, has become very important. The purchase power of the Middle Eastern American, just in Michigan alone, is $3.7 billion.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Very interesting.
3.7, just the purchase power. So that's been all corporate America, all the American business, they are interested in this community.
Sure, and there should be television about it now.
We're going to talk more about this as soon as we get back, because it is a very interesting topic. So stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. We are talking with Wali Jaddan, owner of the Middle Eastern American station and network. Now, you mentioned that your station is one of the only stations on cable.
True.
What station is it on, or what channel is it on?
For example, in Michigan, we are in channel 667.
Okay.
In Verizon, it depends the different state, different channel. In Cox, we are in channel 480 in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And of course, on satellite, it depends on the receiver they have, you know, and it's a free-to-air dish, you know, satellite dish.
Okay, but people here in Michigan can look at channel 667.
Correct, 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Okay, very cool. You mentioned earlier you want to build bridges between our two communities, between the Middle Eastern Americans and the rest of America, bring these people together.
Sure.
Tell me about some of your programs that are helping you accomplish that goal.
Well, see, most we do that through the interviews. You know, bring in politicians. For example, we have Senator Carl Levin, Stabenow, Gary Peters. You know, all those politicians, they come. We have we have a program called Meet the CEO, and we bring a CEO of Health Institute, Financial Institute, or Corporate America to come and speak on a program. There is a lot of foundation that they want to build bridges with the Middle Eastern American community. When we invite a lot of them, we have many relation with the Latino community, with the Asian community, and we participate in their event and their activities too.
Okay.
But honestly, today I could say that corporate America, the American politician, the American organization, they use us as a vehicle to reach the community. So if there is any message or from those or promoting themselves, promoting their organization, promoting their product, that they come and through our station, they reach the over 500,000 in Michigan and over 7 million nationwide.
Now, when you first bought the station in 1995, I'm sure you had a vision of where you wanted this to go.
Yes.
What was that vision, and have you reached it?
Well, honestly, we were 2 hours. I wanted to be 4 hours. I did. And we wanted to be 24 hours in Comcast in Michigan. We did. And then I expanded to Washington, D.C., Virginia, and Maryland, and we did. And then I went to Verizon, and they took me and their program in 17 states. And finally, we went on the satellite dish to cover North America. A lot of people in Toronto, a lot of people in Venezuela. There is a huge Lebanese community, Syrian and Lebanese community. They watch us. Montreal, you know, there is a lot of people from the Lebanese community and the Syrian that they love the country a long time ago. I mean, generation and generation. They still watch us because they want to know something about the local community living in the United States, what they doing, what's their activities, what kind of event they hold, you know. And honestly, the community, not just in Michigan. Michigan, by the way, is the largest Arab American community outside the Middle East, outside the Arab world. They reside in Michigan. And Michigan is the hub for the community. And that's why we started Michigan. So when we cover event, the people, even between the community, the Middle Eastern American community, we building bridges between the community in California and Michigan, between New York and Texas, between Toronto and California. And that's how we are serving the community. Of course, I didn't finish with my goal. You know, our goal, hopefully, with God will, before the end of this year or very early next year, to broadcast to the Middle East, North Africa, and good part of Europe, and we be catering to about 280 million people.
Oh,
wow! Really bringing people
again,
together.
at that time, we want to build the bridges between United States and the Arab world. You know, as you know, our government trying everything to gain the heart and mind of the people living in the Arab world, to establish better relation, better understanding, exchanging culture. And honestly, they trying, but they're not doing a good job. We think through our media, you know, to build those bridges between the Middle East, the Arab world, and the United States, we could do a better job than our government. And honestly, we need that after the war in Iraq and Afghanistan and what happened after September 11th. We need media like this to build the bridges between the Arab world and the United States.
And that doesn't sound quite so simple after what you told me. The Middle Eastern community isn't just one group of people, it's actually many, right? You have Syrian, Lebanese. Tell me what it's like to try and reach so many different kinds of people that are in that Middle Eastern group.
See what happened, the language is one. It's a different dialogue between, for example, Iraqis and people living in Morocco, or Egyptian and people living in Saudi Arabia. It's different dialogue, but it's the same language. And we cater to their issue. And we believe there is other people that part of the Middle East, like the Persian, the Indian, the Greek, the Yugoslavian, the Albanian, they watch our program too, because we discuss the issue related to the whole Middle Eastern American community. I mean, talking about immigration or talking about the economy in Michigan and how it's hit everybody here, it's things that important to everybody.
It concerns all those
Exactly.
groups.
I mean, if I bring Senator Carl Levin and talk about the situation in the Middle East, the whole Middle East and the country surrounding Middle East is affected by those policies and issues. And because all those interviews we do in English, we believe there is another nationwide, another 10 to 15 million from those ethnic minority. And thanks God, United States has become the melting pot of all ethnic minorities. And we are trying, and the whole world become a small village through media, through communication, through the internet. And we doing that. We have a great website for the MEA TV, and through our website, people listen to our radio. Our radio covers the whole state of Michigan.
Well, it sounds a lot like building bridges to me.
So this is our goal, and this is our slogan.
Terrific.
Okay.
All right, well, we're going to have to take another short break. We'll be back in just a little bit to speak with Wali Jadon. A bit more.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. See you in a minute.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Christy Darian. We have with us today Wali Jadon, an entrepreneur and owner of Middle Eastern TV and radio. So we were talking about different ways that you could listen to radio, because there's also a radio station for the Middle Eastern American TV station and radio. How can other people listen to that?
Well, for the radio, it's 690 a.m. and we comes to 3 hours a day during the 4 to 7, and you could listen either in your radio station or on our website, which is meatv-radio.com. And there is live TV and live radio, and when you click to the radio, you could watch the radio. When you click on TV, you could watch the TV in a full screen, and it's alive.
Okay.
You know, so we are working, and by that time, you know, there is a website called mealinks.com. I believe this website is going to grow to be the Yahoo to the Middle Eastern American community. It's an engine search that anything you want to know about the Middle Eastern American community, you could find it there.
And you can listen to your station
And
online?
you could listen to the station from the website. You could watch the TV on the website worldwide.
Okay, what is that website that we can look at?
The website is meatv-radio.com. The search engine, it's mealinks.com.
I want to talk about that links real quick.
Sure.
Now, is that going to be in Arabic or
It's going to be in English, and probably within a few years, when we broadcast to the Arab world and be in touch and integrate with the Arab world, we probably do it in English and Arabic.
Okay. And now back again to your TV show.
Sure.
What kind of programs do you have? I know there's a lot of talk shows, but are there entertaining shows as well?
We have from national news and national, international, and local news to culture, to medical segment, sport in Arabic and sport in English. In Arabic, we talk about soccer and Olympic and all that. In English, we talk about basketball and hockey and baseball. We have movies, and we have a lot of beautiful video clips. And honestly, the video clips that they producing these days, which it costs millions of dollars. It's most beautiful, most modern. You could watch movie. You could watch a lot of interviews. The interviews is important to us because we have about 7 to 8 program. For example, myself, I have a program called Current Issue. And we tackle the issue, if it's a political, if it's economic, if it's a social, if it's whatever that day the issue is, and the important. And I invite a dignitary in the highest level, from senators to people from the State Department, the White House, or dignitary from when they come visit from the Arab world, like if it's foreign minister or trade minister or oil ministers. And what we do, we cover a lot of event too. And at that event, we do a lot of interview. Like there is a VIP reception, and there is here the trade minister, the oil minister, representative of corporate America. And for example, last year, we cover the U.S. Arab Economic Forum. It was hosted in Washington, attending by about at least 20 ministers from the Arab world, the White House, the Commerce Department, the State Department, all were involved. The rebuild of Iraq in Washington, and we covered the whole. We were the only media covering the rebuild of Iraq. And there was about at least 600 people, business people, comes from Iraq, and about at least 500 American companies. And we have the State Department, the Commerce Department involved in that, and we cover it. We do it many interviews and all that, and we put it in TV. We bring the community to the TV. So if there's like festival or annual dinner or celebration or a forums, any kind, lecture about if it's economy, if it's culture, if it's whatever, you know, we go and tape it. We send the camera with the reporter, tape it, and we make story out of it. We put it in TV. So it's a combination of everything. If you sit and watch MEA TV for 4 hours, you'll cover everything from sport to medical, from culture to the news, from event to talk shows, or from everything. We have the young generation, as I mentioned. They got at least about 7, 8 programs, and honestly, these kind of program, it's important to the community because the parents and the family, they see their sons and daughters, you know, tackling issue that they don't talk to the parents about.
So you have young producers working
of course,
with you
and we encourage any young people to come and internship with us, and there's opportunity of hiring too if they do the internship. So
I'm
sure,
listening to you talk, and
Yes.
you're so passionate about it.
I love it. That's why.
Before you bought this network, though, did you ever imagine that you would make this big of an impact on the world and the communities around here?
You know what? Honestly, no. I used to own a real estate company, insurance company, a mortgage company, many service companies, you know. I used to be the main advertiser for the TV before. And I used to do interview with politicians. And, you know, my first interview was with John Sununu when he was chief of staff for President Reagan. That was my first interview. He was in Michigan with the President Reagan. And I said, you know, I want to do interview. So I took him to the TV station, and it was my first interview. From then, I do like 2, 3 interviews a week, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where do you see yourself in 10 years, the station?
Well, as I mentioned, with God will, within a year or 2, or before 2, with a year and a half, we're going to broadcast to the Arab world and Europe, and we're going to be a global media, building bridges between countries, you know.
Yeah.
Don't forget, in Europe, there is a lot of Arab living, you know, in Britain, in France, in Italy, and you know, in Greece, and we're gonna build United States with the Arab world, with Europe, and build those bridges of understanding.
Thank you so much for being on our show. I'm
Pleasure.
afraid
Thanks
we're
so
out
much.
of time. We could
Thank
talk
you.
about this for a long time. Thank you for tuning into our show where we celebrate Michigan together.
And we wish you luck in building bridges and bringing everyone together.
Thank you. I wish you all the luck in your program.
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.